Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with random reviews from the Overflow room. See, that's great. I get to scratch my nose while the sound is dying down here. Well, we finished Shostakovich, and before we get to the insane other pile of S's, the SCH people, Schubert, Schumann, Schoenberg, all the shush, we've got some smaller names to get through, or lesser known names, and some really wonderful ones, I must say. Let me see, who do we got here? Oh yeah, this is going to be fun, really fun. We're in just the plain old SHs. I don't have many of those. It's interesting. I mean, I know there are a lot more than I have down here in the Overflow room. I must have some upstairs too. But here are three, and this is really, they're all really worthwhile. Really lots of fun. First, let's start out with one of the great soundtrack people ever, Howard Shore. There he is. Yes, Howard Shore, doing Lord of the Rings, the whole trilogy I have here. Loved Lord of the Rings when I was younger, and the movies were really quite marvelous. The only thing I didn't like about them is that whenever somebody died, it went into slow motion and you heard horrifying Anglican treble church music. Don't understand that. All right, anyway, but in the meantime, Howard Shore did absolutely fabulous scoring. We've got The Two Towers, The Fellowship of the Ring, well, that was the first one, and lastly, The Return of the King. And oh my, what great stuff. I didn't see The Hobbit. I have to get to that. I really do. I just never got around to it because that was one book. They turned it into a trilogy. I thought to myself, oh, gee whiz, it's a lot of work. Anyway, the music is symphonic and glorious in the sort of John Williams Star Wars mode, only it's more modal than that. And it's beautiful. It has wonderful, wonderful themes. I remember talking to a friend of mine about the original, the Two Towers. And The Two Towers has that amazing scene. There are lots of wonderful scenes in these movies where you need music because you're just having music do music. I mean, the fight with the Balrog, I mean, that was like a big deal. And let's see, where's this thing here? Where was The Two Towers? It was this one, right? There it is, The Two Towers. Hey, there we go, The Riders of Rohan. Yeah, it was that stuff. Let's see, where would I leave the thing? Helm's Deep? Okay, forget Helm's Deep. It wasn't that one. It must be in The Return of the King, the lighting of the towers, when they light the fires, the watchtowers. That is such a great thing. It's like 6-7 solid minutes of thrilling music with amazing horn writing. And let's see, Minas Tirith, The Ride of the Rohirrim, Cirith Ugol. Hope fails, The Black Gate, End of All Things, Return of the King. Yeah, well, it's in here somewhere. I mean, that's for sure. The Ride of the Day. Okay, fine. It's a great scene. I don't even remember what movie it was in. Damn it, This is so complicated. Anyway, these are great scores. It's absolutely a great score. The music is thrilling, and I am happy to have it. Slam it up there on the shelf. Next, here's a disc you probably don't have by a composer you never heard of, and you should. Gordon Sherwood. Who, you might ask? Well, he's still around, apparently. At least he was when this came out, which was in 2000. He may not be any longer. He was born in 1929. He was an American composer. He had a premiere under Dmitri Mitropoulos in the 1950s. He was just a kid. He finished his studies in 1967. He went traveling all over the world for decades, during which time he composed virtually nothing. He wound up in Paris, completely broke and destitute. He spent 10 years homeless, as on the street. It's just an unbelievable story. When Masha Dmitrieva, the pianist here, remembered him and commissioned this piano concerto, Opus 107. He obviously wrote a lot if it's his Opus 107. And we have his Symphony Number 1, Opus 3, which is a single movement, well, sort of a single 4 movements, and tiny though. It's not a single movement, but it's only 19 minutes long, let's put it that way. And his Sinfonietta, Opus 101, which is light and charming and delicious. The piano concerto is fun, a little bit of Bartok in it, maybe, mixed with typical Americanisms. He was really talented. He really was. His music does not deserve to be neglected, and at least this disc now exists so that we can hear it and maybe some people can, will be urged on to further explorations. But anyway, Masha Dmitrieva is the pianist, and she's marvelous. The Bavarian Landesjugend Orchestra sounds really good under Werner Andreas Albert, who always does unusual repertoire, and he could make I don't know, anything sound good orchestrally. He's very, very good at pulling everybody together. It's on CPO. Sherwood is a composer who's worth getting to know. Absolutely worth getting to know. If you haven't heard it, give it a shot. You really should give it a shot. Bright Sheng, remember him? He was born in 1955. Well, he's still around. He was so popular for 20 minutes about 10, 15 years ago. I'm not quite sure where he's been since, but he was known. He was associated with Leonard Bernstein in some way. Did he do Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, or Hidden Crouching Tiger thing? Or I don't know. Maybe he did that. He was all the rage for about 10 minutes, about 20 years ago. And this is a lovely disc of his orchestral works on Bis. Flute Moon with Sharon Bezali. Sharon Bezali. She's Israeli. Really, really a lovely work. China Dreams and Postcards. All of these pieces are in the sort of modernist, romantic, nationalist Chinese style, if you know what I mean, whatever that is. That is, they're more contemporary sounding than just romantic nationalist schlock stuff. They're not old Chinese socialist realist, the Yellow River Concerto and that kind of stuff, the Butterfly Lovers, not like that. But it's more contemporary, but very, very well crafted. And boy, is this well recorded with the Singapore Symphony under Lan Shui. Really, really nicely played. It's a lovely disc to get to know his serious music. And that, my friends, is all we're doing. 3 composers is more than enough in one clump. And keep on listening, friends. Thank you so much for joining me for Random Reviews from the Overflow Room. More to come. Oh, so much more. Take care.